Okay, so to make things clear, the only gun I used for this challenge was the shotgun, of course. And to make the challenge a little less insufferable, I did use the knife and environmentals like explosive barrels, and I did use the occasional flasher grenades. So if that validates this in any way, then I'm sorry. Maybe you can do this better than I could. It's just, I don't know how much my patience could go on with just using the shotgun. Of course, no mods in this were used besides purely cosmetic ones. Like, for example, enemies having less health, or for some reason the shotgun I use doing more damage than it should. Besides that, yeah, let's see if this is even possible. Ew. So naturally, at the beginning of the game, I try to avoid all the enemies and not resort to the knife the best I can.
Here we go.
Check this sick trick out. Watch this shit. I fucked up. And eventually, we reached the village, the first real hurdle for this challenge. So my strategy was just to waste as much time as possible to run the clock. You know, at least until the chainsaw guy came out, because if I entered that shotgun house right away, I would have already had the hordes of enemies out there, plus a chainsaw guy, all trying to get a piece of CJ. So I didn't really want that, and I don't really think CJ did either. Okay, there we go. Now, house. I forgot I changed him. That's actually more terrifying. What are you doing? Why are you here? So I finally enter the shotgun house and get the first kill on a very unlucky Ganado, and just when I thought things were looking good for me. What the fuck are you doing, cow? It's not like I just lit you on fire. Okay, so I'm not saying this cow is racist, but that fucking cow turned around so goddamn fast, and his life mission was to take out CJ as fast as it could. So I don't know. It's a little, just a little suspicious. And so finally, on my first try, I passed the village section as the Ganados see the error of their ways, and as soon as they leave, CJ is able to deliver his iconic line. Here it is.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Oh shit, he said it. Anyway, as CJ basks in glory over this achievement, we head to the first typewriter so we can save for the first time. And for now, it's business as usual. You know, I find the missing part to open the gate, push on to the next part of the game, while, you know, maybe getting caught in a bear trap along the way. Oh, I didn't see that. So, as CJ jumps into a mysterious dark hole, hoping not to find something terrifying in there, he finds a sack with a random guy in it, and as this mysterious man tries to explain his weird kick to CJ, another man who's also into the same sack play takes offense to what CJ thinks and throws him across the room, knocking him out. CJ wakes up in a mysterious sex dungeon, missing his shotgun, and has to find his way out to be reunited with his weapon. And after having a knife fight with some of the enemies here, CJ reclaims his shotgun and ends up fighting the merchant, who he can sell all the useless handgun ammo so that it can go towards his beloved shotgun. So, funny story about this area. I ended up running through all of it, not dying a single time, and as I was on my way out, thinking I was done, I realized I never picked up the key item in the area. Oh, yeah, that definitely tilted me at the time. So, what I did is I ran all the way back to the house, went up the ladder, grabbed the item that I needed while taking damage on the way, and then I was able to go back to where the merchant was and open the door with the key item. So after going through the gate, lowering an old lady into a bear trap and introducing the big boot to her face, I ran past Shrek and made it to the house. Look at him! After solving the hardest puzzle in the game and finding the key, I was rudely interrupted by the owner of the house, and just before he was about to do unspeakable things to me, Spider-Man rappelled down from the roof and used his pistol to save CJ. After passing the church and maneuvering around the cliffside and breaking some ankles along the way, we end up at the merchant, who includes a shooting gallery, which, to be honest, always causes me a brain aneurysm every time I've done this, just for the fact that you can do perfect on every single one of these challenges, and you can still end up getting fucked by RNG because you don't get the charms that you wanted. So, I don't know. Maybe on the cover of this game, they needed to add a brain aneurysm warning for this section, because sometimes I just cannot handle getting the third charm in a row for 30% off body armor. So after we're done getting scanned by the merchant, we head out to find the gas for the boat so that we're able to go out and try to attempt to kill the mutated salamander. You know, at least that's who it used to be in the lake. Look at that disgusting creature! So, to be honest, I've never been too good at fighting this thing, and that's just for the fact that I always either overshoot the spears or I undershoot them, so it usually takes longer than it should have for me to kill this thing. But yeah, so after that, then I end up going around the island solving puzzles so I can then get the key that unlocks the church, so then I can eventually go and save Ashley. But not before CJ has to deal with his biggest threat he's faced so far. Oh, fuck. That ain't El Gigante. Who the hell is this? Alright, how am I gonna do this? So killing the Titan wasn't really that bad. I had some grenades to whittle down his health a little bit, and I had enough shotgun shells to down him a few times, so that I can then jump on his back and knife the parasite, and eventually take him down, of course, with the help of the dog. So after that, I went to the church and opened the door with the key, solved the puzzle inside, and was eventually able to save Ashley for the first time. So after all that, we met up with police again and initiate the house defense section, which was a little difficult, but I conserved ammo pretty well here, just by knifing most of the enemies and only firing my shotgun only when I had really no other choice. So just as everything was falling apart, Ashley ends up finding a way out of the area, and as we make our way to the Chainsaw Sisters, I did end up using a skip here where if you tell Ashley to hide, and if you just focus on the one sister who ends up having the key item that you need to open the gate, then you can then run over to the gate that you need that key item for. You throw a flashbang over the wall to then stun all the enemies so you have time to open the gate, and then once you start leaving the area, then Ashley kind of ends up teleporting to you. So it saves time and ammo, and I don't really consider it cheating since, you know, I didn't use any other weapon besides the shotgun. So that should be fine, hopefully. So the Mendez fight ended up being pretty simple, and to do the first phase for this fight and to conserve ammo, I just ended up knifing his centipede spine, and if you do this correctly, he almost really pretty much never hits you. If you just keep circling around him over and over again and keep stabbing him, he really is never able to get a good angle on you to end up attacking you. And then when he enters the second phase, all you really need to do is just dodge his attacks until he picks up the explosive barrel like a dumbass. And then you just repeatedly keep blowing those up in the face until then he is low enough where then you can just finish him off with some shotgun shells, like, you know, conserving for the fight. So this part was pretty frustrating, just for the fact that I actually just kept trying to catch those cannonballs in midair. But the strategy here was to shoot the weight early to get the cannon out, and essentially just run as fast as possible to that cannon so that you're able to shoot the catapults. So I ended up finding out that if you buy a gun from the Bridget, it ends up coming loaded with ammo already in that gun. So that was pretty nice to find out. Of course, halfway through the challenge already. But after that, I ended up coming up on water level, which I've been dreading this entire challenge. And pretty much what I did is I just sprinted as fast as I could down to the bottom floor, grabbed the key item, ran back up, threw flashbangs, and then I was able to turn the wheel to lower the ramp. And then once you go up that ramp and are on the next floor, all the enemies below that ramp, or for some reason, don't really consider you as existing anymore, which is pretty nice. So next I just had to protect Ashley while she was raising the platforms, which is pretty irritating, but having the fully upgraded riot gun, because I wasn't really upgrading any other weapon besides the shotguns. It was pretty easy just to one-shot all the enemies trying to go after her at that point.
Try using knives next time. Better for close encounters.
So after that, we run through the dog maze, do some shooting gallery challenges, solve more puzzles, kill some bugs, and eventually encounter the Verdugo, who I never killed, and just ended up running around freezing it and kicking it in the face until eventually the elevator came down. So after the Verdugo fight, Lewis pops back up with a block of drugs to trip balls on CJ as we make our way to the double Gigante fight, which is nothing really special, so I'll just kind of skim past that and move on to the minecart section, which I forced myself to use a pistol on because otherwise it's impossible, especially when Shrek is trying to ruin your day. There he is again! Fuck off, Shrek! Back to your swamp! So, unfortunately for the remainder of the video, CJ is going to be a weird orange missing texture because for some reason when you initiate the Krauser fight, it ends up messing up CJ's texture. So I tried to fix it the best I could, but nothing would work. But in a way, he's a little more intimidating now this way than he was before. So anyway, we initiate the Krauser fight. So after he runs away like a puss, we watch as Luis smokes his last blunt, and now with fire and the missing texture of CJ's heart, we hunt him down, but not before we have to fight Salazar. So I do have a little confession to make about this fight. So I kind of ended up using the golden egg on him to take away like at least more than half of his HP. And when I did this, I was in autopilot mode, I wasn't really thinking about it. And to me, I can see that as being considered a challenge failed. So if that's what it is for you, I understand. But yeah, I'm sorry for shaming my family for this action, and I'll try to not let it happen again. But after the Salazar fight, we end up catching a ride with Ada, the island section. We get past the defenses and get to the creepiest part of the game, at least in my opinion. And getting the first level 1 keycard, it's no big deal, really. Getting level 2 keycard really isn't too bad either, as long as you just keep running around the punching bag so the regenerator doesn't get you. It's the third keycard that's a big fucking issue, because only one regenerator out of 4 has the tool that I need, and it's random each time I reset it. So I reset over and over and over again, until finally I get the tool I needed and getting the level 3 keycard. Not before the room becomes a mosh pit, before the keycard's finished, so I throw a flashbang, run out of the room, and come back and grab it when it's finished processing, so I can use it to save Ashley. Again. So after we save Ashley, she gets a chance to actually be kind of useful here, and is able to try to break the concrete wall with a wrecking ball. And I end up helping her a little bit with her grenade that if you throw at the wall she's trying to destroy, it ends up getting a little less HP, so then she's able to destroy it faster than she normally would, while also defending her from enemies. It wasn't really that hard, to be honest. They mostly all really just went in my ass instead of hers anyway. So of course, Ashley gets her ass caught again. We go after her, only to be stopped by Krauser, and the entire first phase of the fight here, I ended up just having a knife fight with him, which is pretty simple to do since you already do it at the beginning of the game, so it's pretty much the same thing. And then the second phase, pretty much same thing again, have a knife fight with him, but then sprinkle in some shotgun shells into there just to take him down a little faster. So coming up on the temple, the most well-protected place in the game, we start this area with the Chad Mike, the best character in the game, at least in my opinion, that shoots and blows up anything that moves an inch that isn't CJ. So to start, I blow up the anti-air gun by throwing grenades at it so that Mike is then able to pull up the doors and I'm able to progress through the gate. And unfortunately, Mike does end up going down, which I couldn't bear the heartbreak again from watching that scene again, so I just ended up skipping the cutscene for that. And after that, we go through one more blockade so then we can eventually get to Ashley for the last time. So before the last boss fight of the game, I end up just buying every shotgun at the merchant possible, which is a little overkill, and I do recognize that me doing this could void the challenge. So if it does, I understand that. But for this fight, it's pretty simple. We just end up shooting all the eyes on the sides of his legs, while dodging the occasional Aztec attack by crouching under it, and stabbing his eye whenever you're able to. And after beating him, I do unfortunately have to use the rocket. I don't have any other choice. But yeah, after that, we just have to escape on the jet ski like normal, and that's that. So, can you beat RE4 Remake with the shotgun? It's absolutely. Even if you just started with the base shotgun and only kept that without using any grenades or flashbangs or golden eggs or anything like that, I still think this would be very possible. So, yeah, this was fun and annoying at the same time. Probably won't do it again. But yeah, that's it.